Hey YouTube, it's Gundude 73 making another episode of Knife Talk, and today I'm going to be talking about hot spots on folders. That's just one of those terms that you hear thrown around, and some people might think, oh, well, what is that? What are they talking about exactly? So basically with a hot spot, it's basically just like when you're using the knife, holding on to it, that after prolonged use, there's just a part of your hand that's sore. Mostly on folders, it'll come from the pocket clip, like just look how. And it also depends on a few things. Depends on the size of the knife, the size of your hand, and then sort of how the clip is situated, because that's usually the culprit. Also, jimping is too. So you can see on the military here, it's an example. The clip is right on your, like the pad of your hand. So you're holding the knife like this, and you're gripping on, and you're holding onto that clip. The clip is sort of digging into your hand after a while. That sort of goes with all folders. It's just sort of part of them. That's part of how they are. So it's like, you're cutting, and it's sort of like, ow, it kind of hurts right there. That's another good example. One that I don't have with me currently would be the ZTO 350. It has very hard cut jimping, so if you're really bearing down on that jimping after a while, it'll probably hurt. And the Parrot 2 is sort of similar to the military. You can see the clip is like right there, so when you're holding onto it, it's right on the pad of your fingers. I mean, the easiest way to take care of most hot spots on folders is to remove the clip, but that's sort of necessary, at least in my opinion, to carry the knife. It makes it so much more convenient, so definitely a trade-off in that regard. Some knives have very smallish pocket clips. You can see, like on the Voyager here, the clip is sort of in, like when your hand is curved like this, there's almost like it's concave, hope I'm saying that right, sorry for the bump. So there's a little bit of room in there, and the clip in the Voyager sort of fits into there on my hand, if that makes sense, so it doesn't hurt. It's not as much of a hot spot, I noticed. But because this is so aggressive, it will sort of hurt your hand if you're holding onto it and really cutting for a while. Any sharp corners will tend to do that too. Like the SNG, which I also don't have, is an example of that, where the back of the handle is straight and then it dips down like that, and that bump kind of can get irritating to some people. Sebenza, the jimping is a little on this Sebenza's jimping is actually kind of aggressive, which is good in my opinion, but if you're really pushing down on it, it might be a hot spot. The clip isn't so much, but right there on my middle finger, how this clip bump is like that, it's sort of digging into my hand a little bit. So I could see where that could be a problem, on my hand. And the tilt, the interesting thing with the tilt is where the clip is exactly on the knife. It's like right here on the top of the handle. And look where I'm holding it. The clip is doesn't really touch my hand when I hold it back here. It's just sort of right there. So this is a very comfortable knife for me, for my hand, because the clip isn't really digging in. It's just only touching like the web of my hand right there. No big deal. So basically, like I was saying, you can get a hot spot from the pocket clip, from maybe a sharp corner that wasn't beveled properly. Maybe just holding on to a knife and cutting and putting force on it, that'll also just sort of abrade your hand. Or if the texture on the handle is very rough, that would do it too. But on most knives, the clip is the issue, and if you want to get rid of it, simply remove the clip, and you can carry it on a sheath or just pocket it. But to me, I'll take a clip with a little bit of a hot spot, because I like the convenience of a clip. So, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the views and support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.